Chapter 27. I'll appear before His Majesty in 4 days' time and present my memorial for the improvement of state affairs. He told them and escorted them out of his mansion. He then ordered that the gates be sealed for 3 days, during which time no documents were to be delivered and no visitors admitted. After 3 days of painstaking work, he completed a memorial containing 10 proposals for reform to present to the king in the presence of all the ministers. On the 4th day, King Zhou ascended the throne. After he was greeted by his ministers, he asked, "Are there any memorials for me to consider? If not, this session can be closed. I have a memorial to be submitted to your majesty." Grand Tutor Wen moved forward. King Zhou laid it on the desk in front of him and read it over carefully. It enumerated his failings and put forward 10 proposals. First, demolish the Happy Terrace to pacify the people. Second, destroy the burning pillars to encourage the ministers. Third, fill in the Serpent Pit to right the palace of its wrongs. Fourth, fill in the wine pool and destroy the meat forest to pacify the nobles. Fifth, depose Daji to put an end to her conspiracies to ruin the state. Sixth, behead Fei Zhong and Yu Hun to warn the flatterers. Seventh, open the granaries to relieve the poor and the starving. Eighth, send representatives to the East Grand Dukedom and the South Grand Dukedom for peace negotiations. Ninth, look for talented hermits in the mountains and forests. 10th, encourage freedom of speech. Let everyone have the chance to voice opinions publicly without fear. The Grand Tutor stood beside the royal desk. He ground the ink slab, dipped the writing brush in the ink and handed it to King Zhou. "Your Majesty, please sign your name." Looking through the 10 proposals again, the king found the first one much against his will. "We've spent a great deal of labor and money. It would be a great pity if it were pulled down. This needs further consideration," he said. "Though I agree to destroying the burning pillars, filling in the Serpent Pit and the wine pool, and removing the meat forest, it won't do to depose Queen Daji. She's virtuous and chaste. This must be discussed further too." He then added, "As for the 6th proposal, it's unjust to execute Fei Zhong and Yu Hun. They've served me well and committed no crime. How can you call them flatterers? I approve all your proposals except the 1st, 5th and 6th. But Grand Tutor Wen insisted. "The Happy Terrace has wasted much money and the people have suffered greatly for it. They won't stop grumbling until you pull it down. Your queen invented the burning pillars, angering heaven and hell. The ghosts of the innocent weep at the injustices done. Unless she's deposed, neither the gods nor ghosts will be satisfied. Fei Zhong and Yu Hun must be beheaded so that the court may be cleansed. I hope you'll implement all 10 proposals promptly. Any delay would be harmful to the state." At a loss what to do, King Zhou stood up. "I can only approve 7 of the proposals. As to the 1st, 5th and 6th, we ought to have more time to discuss them before making a final decision." "Your Majesty," warned Grand Tutor Wen, "don't regard those 3 as unimportant. They're closely related to the future of your state. Whether the dynasty revives or falls depends on this decision. Seize the chance and don't let it slip by." Fei Zhong did not realize the seriousness of the situation. He ignored Grand Tutor Wen and moved forward to speak to King Zhou. Grand Tutor Wen did not know him. "Who are you?" "I'm Fei Zhong," was the answer. "Oh, so you're Fei Zhong? What do you wish to say? Though you're higher in rank, you've violated the rights. You're insulting His Majesty by forcing him to give his approval to your proposals. By demanding that His Majesty depose his queen, you're failing to behave as a minister. It's lawless to compel His Majesty to execute innocent officials and is an insult by an inferior to a superior." Fei Zhong's words infuriated the Grand Tutor. He glared at Fei Zhong with his divine third eye. "You wretch! How dare you deceive the king with your cunning words?" he cried, and with a blow from his immense fist, he knocked Fei Zhong down the steps. Seeing Fei Zhang lying on the floor, his face bruised and swollen, Yu Hun rushed forward. The Grand Tutors committed a grave fault by beating a royal minister right before His Majesty's eyes. It's the equivalent of beating His Majesty himself. He said. "Who are you?" Grand Tutor Wen demanded. "I'm Yu Hun," was the reply. The Grand Tutor burst into laughter. "So it's you. You two mishandle state affairs with your dirty tricks and conspiracies. You're in collusion with each other." He ran forward, raised his fist again, and knocked Yu Hun down the steps and several yards across the floor. He ordered the guards to seize both Fei Zhang and Yu Hun and take them to the palace gate to await execution. As he vented his wrath, King Zhou remained completely silent. They've no idea how to behave in the present situation and have brought this humiliation on themselves, he thought to himself. When Grand Tutor Wen urged him to behead Fei Zhang and Yu Hun, he stubbornly refused. "Everything in your memorial's correct. But I can't approve the first, fifth and sixth proposals before I've considered them carefully. Though Fei Zhang and Yu Hun foolishly offended you, it isn't a serious case. They'll be sent to court and tried according to law. They can't complain about receiving the penalties they deserve." Observing the king's frightened manner, the Grand Tutor relented. "Though I've acted out of loyalty, to make him frightened of me is a crime," he thought, kneeling down before King Zhou. "I hope only that your state may have peace on all frontiers, that your people enjoy happiness, and that the nobles submit peacefully to us. This is all I desire and nothing else. Send Fei Zhang and Yu Hun to jail to await trial." The 7 proposals are approved, but the remaining 3 are to be carefully discussed and dealt with later, King Zhou ordered, and then dismissed the court. When a kingdom is in decline, disasters never cease. As Grand Tutor Wen was about to succeed in the effort for political reform, news arrived that King Pingling had declared the independence of the East Sea District. On receiving the report, the Grand Tutor left his residence to visit Huang Feihu at once. After the formal greetings were over, Grand Tutor Wen asked, "General, this rebellion must be quelled at once. But who should head the expedition, you or I? Whatever you think best." Huang answered promptly. After careful consideration, Grand Tutor Wen said, "You'd better stay here to guard the palace. I'll take 200,000 soldiers to the East Sea District. I'll deal with the state administration after my return." Early the next morning, Grand Tutor Wen reported the emergency to King Zhou. "What shall we do? Who's to subdue the rebellion?" The king exclaimed in alarm. "My loyalty compels me to go personally. General Huang Feihu can stay here to protect the capital. The 3 proposals can be dealt with after my return from the front," Grand Tutor Wen replied. Greatly delighted at the prospect of the Grand Tutor leaving the capital, King Zhou immediately ordered the mobilization of the army. He escorted the Grand Tutor beyond the east gate of Zhaoge. He toasted Grand Tutor Wen with a cup of wine in farewell, but the latter turned and passed the cup on to Huang Feihu. "Let General Huang drink first. I entrust you with the care of state affairs. I ask that you speak frankly about anything improper. To keep one's mouth shut isn't the way for a loyal minister to act." Huang Feihu could not very well refuse. He emptied the cup in one draught. Grand Tutor Wen then turned to King Zhou. "I hope you'll pay more attention to the fate of your kingdom, listen to the loyal, and do nothing more to aggravate the situation. I won't be away long, a year at most." After the farewell drinks, Grand Tutor Wen set out to the roar of cannons. If you want to know how events developed, you must read the next chapter.